Good morning and welcome to Unlimited Love. And I see that you're calling in from all over. So for me, it's 9 in the morning, and for you, it may be the middle of the night. I'm so happy you decided to join me on this amazing day of love, Valentine's Day. And we have some very, very special clearings to do today. I hope you enjoyed. We had a little video show before our broadcast, and there'll be some videos playing after the broadcast if you want to see what's happening here. If you're new to us, we've got some amazing programs. You might want to hang around for a few minutes and watch some of those amazing videos. Well, today is Unlimited Love. We're going to be doing clearings for self-love, self-affinity, the ability to trust yourself and honor yourself, the feeling of worthiness and that you deserve to be in a loving relationship. So let's begin with a mudra, and it's one that I really love to use. So we're going to rub our hands together in front of our heart chakra, creating some energy, some tapas, some spiritual heat in the palms of the hands. And then when your hands are nice and warm, put your right hand over your heart chakra and your left hand over your right hand in a universal mudra of self-love and self-affinity. Say to yourself, I love myself. I trust myself. I express my unique self. And just feel the love, the trust, permission to be yourself begin to flood through the body. And breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I just want you to know how much I love and appreciate you and how important you are to me. So we're going to start this clearing by doing a love clearing for self-love, worthiness, trust, the ability to trust yourself. So it's all about you first. And for those of you who are new to me, I'm going to teach you a technique called the quantum pump. It takes us into the quantum pleasure field. And it's very, very simple. You're going to be moving your hand like this. And as we move the hand, we're going to be clearing a number of things. We're going to be clearing billions and billions of soul contracts that are preventing you from really being in love with yourself, being able to trust yourself, being able to have permission from inside to express your unique self. We're also going to be clearing blocks to the sense of worthiness. Perhaps in relationship, you've had the experience of maybe being subservient or feeling like a bit of a slave, like you don't have your own authority in relationship. So we'll also be clearing that. So we go through soul contracts of others affecting you negatively, then demonic curses. And we'll just do it in a big bundle, so we're not going to read all the people on the line. Very, very excited. We have almost 1,800 people signed up for this call, and it just touches my heart to know that this quantum work and your desire to move forward in your life, in love, is happening. It's the happening thing on the planet. And know that I love you personally. You who are watching, I love you. And I appreciate who you are. And whether this Valentine's Day is filled with lots of joyful connections with people or romantic rendezvous, or if it's a Valentine's Day where this is the big event, and I'm thrilled that we're the big event, know that your being here matters so much, that your presence is so very, very important, that what you do and who you are is important to me and important to the world. So if you've been in a little low spot, I know the winter months can drag on, and that seasonal affective disorder, the depression that comes from not being enough sunshine for some of you might be affecting you. And I just want you to let go of that and really be in the place of being loved and cherished and knowing that you are worthy and that you are loved by the divine and that everyone loves you. On some level, everyone loves you. It's you giving yourself permission to step into the circle. And that's what we're doing this morning. I'm so happy to see this streaming going on. I know that you're all, people are even telling me what time it is in the morning or what time they're, that's wonderful. It's nice to see you checking in. Before the class, my rules on the chat box. Before the class, it's great to chat between each other if there's an opportunity, and after the class. And during the class, please do direct your comments to me. So if I am taking time to look at the chat box, which I do occasionally, that I see messages that are meant for me, not for somebody on the call. Thank you so much. It's so amazing. You know, I think that we all want to always bring our best to the table. If you're just a little rule, if you're being inappropriate on the chat box, you'll be banned from the chat. So we've had a few people throwing up advertisements. Oh, silly people. And I know you're doing it with complete love, thinking you're doing something good, but don't do that. Silly. I'm excited for you to be here, and I'm thinking that we have a really good cross of women and men and children and seniors and everybody, because love is an issue that's on the mind of everybody. It's one of the reasons we as spirits come into this body. It's the big game on the planet, being able to have feelings and emotions, being able to be cherished and loved, actually being able to have good sexual relationships and good sensual relationships, being able to really connect with with another, or you know, through a life you might have many partners, who knows. So there's no right way for everyone. There's just your way for now, until perhaps you find another way, and then that's the right way. So I think the one thing that we really work on in this program is being okay with who we are and loving the being that we are now. So I'm hoping that I can model that for you in my silliness and my just willingness to be exposed and be transparent in front of you. Now, the quantum pump, and some of you are starting to feel some shifts, I can tell. There's a lot of people on the call, so it's a very exciting call to see so many people here. The aspects that we're looking at right now, soul contracts of others affecting you negatively, and demonic curses, that's where we start. Those are not in the field of perception for those of you who study with me. Those are experiences of dark energy on the planet. So I'm not talking about contracts that you make with others. I'm talking about like soul contracts, meaning contracts that are made on all humans or on your group that really are challenges. And the cool thing is in the clearing in the realms that support the human blueprint, we are gifted the quantum field, which allows us to remove all of that which is not us. One of the very simple ways that you can clear is say, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. You say that 5 minutes to a pain or an ache or a feeling or an expression, and it will be very effective. This quantum pump I'm teaching you is even more effective, but that's not me will take that experience out of your field. Every single tradition, every single religious tradition had the mechanisms built in to remove these unwanted soul contracts and demonic curses. So in most traditions, it's repetitive prayer, whether it's mantra or rosary. Um, so that would be the traditional way to clear patterns and programs that really don't support you, aren't effective, don't help you. All right, and then once we get the the soul contracts of others affecting you negatively, and demonic curses cleared, we're going to jump on to the field of perception. And let me just see how far we are in the group. Oh, we're over 80% clear in the group. Okay. So while we're finishing this up, I'll start talking about the field of the perception. And perception existed before even you as a spirit existed. It's collective thought forms. And eventually, perception becomes collected thought forms from past lives, from group mind viruses. So in other words, inappropriate or unpleasant or unkind group mind processes. So an example of that, and the name of that is a miasm. An example of that is like the experience of what happened with Hitler, and how many people agreed to be harmful to a couple groups, but one group in particular. That would be a group mind virus. That would be a miasm, just like in South Africa also. So we try to clear those miasms, and you can actually clear all of the miasms from your field just by doing this in the field of perception. So that also in the field of perception includes black magic. And some of you think of black magic in a way where somebody's got a chicken leg and they're casting a spell on you, and that is what I would call a curse. Black magic is traditionally something you say about yourself to yourself and others. So if you say, like, a black magic would be, I always attract, bummers for lovers, or I just can't fall in love, or I don't know, because I don't repeat these things, but you know what they are. So if you're telling yourself something that is not really holding to you as a magnificent being of light who is free to create anything, I want you to start rebooting with that and really hold to saying positive things about yourself. One of the things that really helps is to be thinking about who you've had in your life already who've been lovers and the good quality they brought. Maybe they weren't the complete package, but maybe they had a good quality, and maybe you've had 10 people that have had a good quality, and you can amplify the good quality and say, I've had it all, and it's wonderful, and I'd love now, I'm creating it as the one and all only package. I'm bringing it all in with one person. I know I can bring it in, and now I can bring it in with one person. So that would be some great black magic to put on yourself. Curses, then, are things that other people put on you. And so we clear that. That's in the field of perception, too. So the field of perception, where we look at all the thought forms influencing you, and there are many positive thought forms, obviously, so we don't need to clear the positive ones. We're clearing the negative ones. So again, it's group mind, a meme, group mind virus, that's a miasm, black magic, something you tell yourself, curses, something someone else says about you unkindly or towards you, and traumatic episodes from past lives. By the way, I worked with a beautiful woman from the Cacao Islands, and she was very upset with her husband. He had had an affair. And we were clearing curses. She goes, where are all these curses coming from? She was just so like, wow, there's so many. And I said, well, if you believe in the system or you work the system, of course you attract it. So it turns out that she had, once we got down to it, she said, "Oh my gosh, I probably put a few curses on my husband." He had had an affair 2 years before. She had put on uh, 1,800 curses, something like that, 1,800 curses. She was yelling at him every day. And those were going into his field and becoming part of him. So understand that thought forms and words become something to someone else's body. Wow, looks like people are writing books. Thank you, thank you. I love you too. I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah, it's time for this work to get out in the world. I'm just thrilled with all of you being so amazing, so courageous, so outstandingly extraordinary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are jumping into the field of perception now. So we'll be clearing all the blocks to self-love and worthiness. The slave pictures around love and relationship, we're clearing those. And also the ability to trust yourself and freedom to be yourself, freedom to express yourself. Yeah, I think one of the things that we will be looking at as we go into the next part, which is karma clearing, is how we leave our energy in another's body or how they leave their energy in our body. So that's going to be an interesting wake-up call for everyone, I think, when we get to that point. It's really amazing. It's like, well, how does this happen to me? We always think, how does this happen to me? But if you look at how you participate in the world, and you may be a little bit unconscious about how you're participating in the world at the moment, but as we progress, you might notice, oh my gosh, I do participate in putting, black magic spells, curses, whatever on people just by saying unkind things about them. Or, gosh, I do belong to groups that persecute people, and I think that there's good in the group, and so I stay there and don't change it, And if you're on that wavelength, sometimes you're experiencing and broadcasting out the virus, the group mind virus. So it's good because when we come to the self-love, the place where we are the pillar of light and love in the world, and that others can use us as a measure of what love is. We're no longer broadcasting out harmful thoughts, and we're no longer amplifying group mind that doesn't connect with who we are anymore. You can belong to a family that has problems with that, and what you can do is say, oh, I get where you're coming from. That separates you from, that's where they're coming from, where you're not aligning with them, so you don't make them wrong. So it's a very good way to just very quickly, and then you can say internally, that's not me. I believe in love, or I am love, or I'm the experience of love on the planet. So things can change and improve and grow, and you can be part of a family or part of a community and validate love without participating in amplifying any harmful or hateful thoughts or thought forms. And I know each one of you are a love bunny. You had to be to get on this call. And whether you know it or not, you are just filled with that light and love of God, and I see it in you. So I'm so happy you're here. I'm very, very happy to be connected with you. Hey, while we're doing this, I want to mention to you, I've got a fantastic YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. Hundreds of free videos. I mean, I've got playlists on everything, on regeneration and brain regeneration and sleep and all kinds of things that you might like to check out. So subscribe if you like on the YouTube channel. If your medium is videos, there's a lot of juicy stuff on there, and it's my gift to you. Okay, let's see how we're doing on the field of perception. What I'm doing, by the way, is I'm muscle testing. I'm using my fingers and pushing down. I'm just testing the group to see where we're at. We're about 60% through, so we still have a ways to go. When we get through the field of perception, we'll be going into emotions. That'll be the next thing. And then beyond emotions, we'll go into DNA, and we'll clear it all the way through. You're doing a great job. Pump, pump, pump. Some of you I know are new to this. It looks a little odd. Let me show you how it is. It's just, that's kind of how it is. And it's effortless, so the hand doesn't feel anything really. When I pump away, my hand a little bit lower, it's typically down here. I'll show you. Let's see, can you see? It's typically down so that I've got my arm against my body, and I'm pumping. There we go. I got my Valentine's Day dress on for you. So we're hanging out on Valentine's Day. Yay! And improving love and light and the possibility of romance. It's a good way to hang out on Valentine's Day. I think I could talk to you a little bit while we're pumping away here. It's going to be a few more minutes. There was a whole lot in the field of perception about love and relationships. And, you know, there's one thing that sometimes we as women get it wrong, and men, you might get it wrong too, is that you got to actually look at the opposite sex as actually a different animal, a different species. In Luann Brisendine's book, the female brain, she writes about the chemistry of the female brain, and then shows how the chemistry of the male brain is developed very differently than the female brain. Now that's a very interesting, and by the way, she wrote the male brain, I think she came out with that probably about 5 years ago. Female brain came out maybe 12 years ago. And it's fascinating. It's, you know, it's really kind of heady information. On the other hand, it explains about why we seem so different. Ladies, our brains are marinated in estrogen from the time we're little toddlers, babies. And that's all about socialization. And men, your brains are marinated in testosterone from the time you're little. And so even the gazing of a boy will watch the room, a girl will deeply gaze, you know, an infant will deeply gaze into her parents because she's already involved in the estrogen part of her brain. So we want to make sure that we're honoring how the brain developed in the other. So ladies, when you have the room for your fella to be more about protect, provide, go out and conquer, and whatever phase he's in, if he's in a young phase like a page or a knight or a prince or a king, you know, all of those different phases. Alison Armstrong writes about those. They're really true. I mean, there are times a man needs to conquer the world and go on adventures, and that is really a gift you give your partner when you understand that they have a different brain than you do. And it's really a great relief. You have much more emotional expansiveness or generosity with them when you understand that. So, ladies, you could check in with your partner, and if you're wanting to have a heart-to-heart conversation, ask him if he can listen to you and give him a time, and you know, guide him. If you want him to help you resolve something, you have to let him know that's what you want, and he will always be trying to provide for you and protect you, so he will always try to resolve the problem for you. If you don't want him to resolve anything, you just want him to look at the pretty flowers in your head coming out of your head. This is everything I did today. And there's no need for a resolution, then my recommendation is you just say, honey, all I need is for you to listen right now. I just want to show you everything. And men, when they have that container, they do really well and they listen. Or they say, hey, don't have the bandwidth, but I can do it later. So it really does help when you have just a little bit of an understanding of the language of love, the chemistry of love, the dynamics of love. And so you wouldn't be looking, ladies, for your best girlfriend. You wouldn't be looking for someone like you. You would be looking for someone who would, provide and protect for you, who could step into that role as a hero for you. And gentlemen would be looking for a woman who they were charmed and enchanted with, who would delight them, who would enhance their life, would bring more beauty or more cultural experience, or it would complement them, fill them out, give them more of a rich emotional experience. So we're not looking for our best girlfriend, or we're not looking for the twin of ourselves. We're actually looking for the partner who can stand as the yin and the yang. And sometimes women are really more masculine and have that role and are looking for a man who can play a more feminine role. And that's very wonderful. That's fine. And sometimes, obviously, there are women who are partnered with women and men who are partnered with men. And that's also wonderful. So you'll be finding your unique path, your unique way. I want to just acknowledge each one of you in however you express love. It's wonderful. Love is always right. So when you are expressing love in the way that you know to express love, and that it enhances others, it's perfect. You are perfect. Let's see where we're at with this now. We're clear. Okay, good. And we're into emotions. Emotions will clear in 2 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and keep pumping. We're clearing emotions around self-love, self-trust, worthiness, the ability to express your unique self, and removing the slave subservient pictures from your space. Mm. Yeah, I didn't actually speak until I was 5, so I do these seminars several times a week, and I'm a speaker. So there you go. Get a person who's naturally quiet talking for hours. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Emotions are clear. We're going into DNA now, and we're going to clear your DNA around the same things: self-love, worthiness, trust, freedom to express, and slave pictures. And for those of you who are training as my students, you can clear DNA sideways. For those of you who are brand new, I want you to just keep doing the pump, okay? So students, quantum immersion students, those would be my students who are in the year-long training. We're doing this, and everybody else doing this. And I live on a mountain. I'm moving in 2 weeks to another mountain, and the sun is just coming up really over the mountain. It's coming through the windows beautifully. I love this time of day. Isn't it magical when the sun is brilliant? We had rain last week, but the skies are just crystally blue, clear, and the sun is just a radiant, bright light. And I think about these days as joy-producing days. You know, if you are going through a depression, get outside in the sun for half an hour every day. It really takes the stress out of the body. It increases the serotonin, improves the chemistry of the body. So I want you to feel good every day. I want you to be rejoicing and celebrating every day. Oh, thank you. Is that Luke or Lake? Lucky, maybe? I'm using my right hand. That was such a good question. Thank you. I forgot to mention that. Right hand is the pump hand. When we're doing other techniques, sometimes people use right and left. If you only have one hand, you use whatever hand you have. I know some of you have had disabilities and tell me I can use one hand or I can use my eye. I'm joking. Use your foot. I don't care. It's a right hand, though. The right hand is the giver hand. The left hand is the receiver hand for the most part, unless you're just like really hacking away at something that you want to clear something. And then you can use both. But a lot of times I'll have my hand much lower, but I'll have my hand, my left hand reading. That's the receptive. That's where energy comes into the body through the left hand. And the right hand is the giving hand. So we use that because that goes out. Things go out. And it seems to be a much more powerful, it's a powerful pump. However, like I said, if you want to use your left hand, it is okay. There's no taboo about it. And I recommend even left-handed people using the right hand because the body systems are set up that way where the energy goes out the right and in through the left. So even if you're a lefty, use your right hand for the pump, and then, or you can do double. And then, like I said, there are no absolutes, so do what makes you happy. You know, honestly, it's going to work. I got the downloads in my garden. Oh, that would be interesting. While we're clearing emotions, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Some of you haven't met me yet. And thank you so much for coming to the call if you're brand new to me. I literally survived the atomic bomb testing in the Nevada desert as a child. Went through 17 surgeries, multiple cancers, and died a couple times. And really had the worst of human health experiences, the worst of human experiences. And out of that, I, 7 years ago, went to my garden in prayer and meditation and discovered the human blueprint, or rediscovered it, because it's always been with us. And that human blueprint really gives us all of the answers to healing everything in our life, our health and vitality, our wealth, our love, our anything that has to do with the human experience is included in the human blueprint. The blueprint exists of perception, which we talked about a little bit, essence, which is your spirit, life force, soul, and high self, matter, which is everything physical, and energy, which are like these chakras. It's the energy body that grows from the DNA and is developed at about age 7. Chakras, aura, golden rings, which is your halo, human access portal, the little space in the back of your head, 1 inch above where the spine meets the skull, where the spirit goes in and out freely of the body. The nadis and the meridians are part of the energy body. Life force is part of spirit, so that's separate. That isn't part of the energy body. And then we have the realms that support the human blueprint, the realm of Genesis, which is new life, how life can start from virtually nothing. So Genesis, embodiment, the ability to, as spirit, live in a body. And then we have the quantum field, which is what we're using with the pump, the quantum field. And I always like to take my students into the quantum pleasure field, so things move very quickly. And the quantum field has the power to move or clear anything as well as create anything. You would amplify a new cell growing. You could actually, some of our miracle stories are of growing something that's been surgically removed back. So the quantum field will allow us to amplify Genesis and bring back a missing, like tonsils or colon or something like that. And then the final field is a field of amplification. And it can be such a wonderful field, amplification, because it amplifies the good. Unfortunately, amplification has been kind of stuck on like a pain button in the human blueprint. And so the soul contracts and demonic curses have been out of control, and that's partly amplified by our own blueprint. So we're definitely improving that as a group. We're creating a new consciousness, a new awareness, and a new way of being as we clear away that which is not us, so that we can be our authentic, loving self, our authentically powerful, fully expressed, fully delighted self. The old age was the age where the Piscean age, the patriarchal age, was the age of domination. And we move into the Aquarian age of androgyny, as the age of equality and being able to have our own God information and our own God power. So in this era that we're moving into, we're beginning to have our God information and our God power. This simple quantum pump is going to help change your life forever for the better. Okay, and DNA is now changed. Very good. So let's just take a moment and check in with our bodies. Shifting, just notice the body in the quantum pleasure field. That took a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm delighted that we got it all the way to 0. So what we're going to do is we'll jump into a meditation, and then we'll complete with a karma clearing. So the meditation is next. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position with your spine erect and your feet on the floor. Repeat to yourself, I love myself. I trust myself. I am worthy. I give myself permission to express my unique self. And these affirmations become powerful affirmations that live in your essence, in your very being. Sending a grounding cord down from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. Make the grounding cord nice and wide. Set the grounding cord on release and begin to release all the excess energy in the body. Release the fight or flight energy. Release emotions. Release any stress in the body, that which is not you. Male bodies with a line of energy as wide as your wrist, hollow in the center, down from the testicles to the center of the earth. Set the testicles on release and release the energy, control energy of the women in your life. Perhaps they put some energy on your testicles, so set that on release. And also release competition and aggression. Ladies with a line of energy as wide as your wrist, hollow in the center from your ovaries down to the perineum and down to the center of the earth. We're setting the ovaries on release, and we're releasing the ovaries. And what we're doing there is we're releasing all your healing projects, all the people who you've gotten now in your space, because healing comes from the ovaries. It comes from our female body. So let's release the ovaries. Let go of all that excess energy. And what I want you to do is get those ovaries down to it's just you in there, not 6 people that you're healing. So release all your family members and all the people you love or are trying to fix. Just let them all go. And then going up to the adrenals. They sit at a waistline, just above the waistline, an inch or so off the spine and an inch and a half up from the waist. And they look like little acorns with hats. They're the cute little glands. They're adorable. You're going to ground them with a line of energy as wide as your wrist through the perineum down to the center of the earth. That's everybody, men and women. And let's go ahead and set the adrenals on release. And we're releasing the fight or flight energy from the body. The adrenals really control the adrenaline. For ladies, you get some testosterone out of there, cortisol. You know, lots of good things come out of the adrenals. Let's just let the body come into a more peaceful place. Going to the center of the head and opening a trapdoor out the back of the center of the head. And let's go ahead and take a spiritual fire hose, or you can take a vacuum cleaner or even a little feather duster, whatever you want to do to clean out the center of your head. I'm a woman on fire. I have 7 planets in fire in my astrology, so I like a fire hose. I want to do it fast and furious. So however you want to wash out the center of your head, let's clean out any squatters. Let's spray them out. And let's wash out the center of the head. And everything is going out the trapdoor. It's just flushing out the trapdoor. You're doing a great job. So proud of you. All right, looping thoughts, worries, concerns. Let's let that go. And then when you're ready, you can close the trapdoor at the back of the head. And then I'd like you to pop out of your top of your head as a spirit and pull your aura in to 18 inches around your body. And let's run a golden Roomba, a vacuum cleaner from the top of your head. Roomba is a little robot vacuum cleaner. It's an automated vacuum cleaner. It's going to just zip around like the Tasmanian Devil cartoon, quick little zoo, 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 zoo. If you remember that he was a little spinner guy, he was very funny. If you grew up with that cartoon, I don't know. Anyway, just set that vacuum cleaner to clean out. It's going to spiral around your head and down your body, cleaning out all the dust bunnies and fuzz balls that are in your aura. Your aura is now 18 inches close to your body, so if you pulled it in, you might be able to feel it like a sleeping bag. Very nice. Bringing earth energy up through the feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, out the hips and down the rounding cord. And bringing more energy into the back of your head, 1 inch above where the spine meets the skull, down into your neck and shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, through the hands and fingertips, and down through your back channels. And I want you to bring that energy up through the belly, through the chest, through the neck, through the head, fountaining out the top of the head. And then imagine there's a beautiful love helium balloon. So let's make it, instead of a love boat, let's make it a helium or a hot air balloon. And it's going to take us on a love journey. It's going to make all our intentions go out to the divine, to magnetize to us love. And so in there, you might be seeing and putting in your intention for the future. We're making a mock-up now of love. So mock-ups can be made like, I see myself dancing across the marble floors of my new home in the arms of my beloved. I see us making love in front of the fireplace and drinking sparkling cider by candlelight. I see us making love and really reveling in each other's bodies for hours and hours. I see us hand in hand shopping in the city and going to the theater and the ballet and the opera, and the symphony, and we're dressed in beautiful clothes and we complement each other so nicely. I see us on adventures traveling around the world. He understands me and gets me, and I understand and get him. We have room for each other, and we feel uplifted and delighted every time we see each other. We're excited to see each other. So you can put those kinds of ideas into this beautiful helium balloon, this hot air balloon. Just take a minute and let's have you put your notion, your notion of love into that hot air balloon. And maybe you want to also add in the formula if he's like a soulmate, divine complement, if he's a partner to get through life and help raise the children or create a family with, um, someone to work side by side with. These are all beautiful intentions. And then when you feel like you've got that really that image of what you're looking for designed beautifully and it's now in the hot air balloon, let's show that hot air balloon with all of the intentions of all of the hundreds of people who are on the call. Let's show that to the Supreme Being. Beautiful. And Supreme Being, we ask for blessings for all of the people who have put their love and their intention and their best wishes into this healing balloon. We ask that you bless them and that we all be blessed with our divine partners, our beautiful expression of love. Whatever it is that we're asking for with love and relationship, we ask blessings on these beautiful mock-ups. We get a nod yes from the Supreme Being, and then we send that beautiful hot air balloon off beyond the mountain range. It just keeps going out further and farther until you can't see it anymore. And you let it go and you know that it will be fulfilled and come back to you in perfect timing. And then coming back into the room and into your body, feeling yourself filling out as a spirit in your body, rubbing your hands together in front of your heart chakra, creating some tapas, some spiritual heat, some energy, and then putting your right hand over your heart chakra and your left hand over your right hand in a universal mudra of self-love and self-affinity. I love myself. I trust myself. I am worthy. I express my unique self. Really be with that feeling of wellness, that all is right in your wonderful world, and that you only need to give yourself permission to step into the circle. So beautiful. And when you're ready, and when you feel very full, I'd like to welcome you back into the room, taking a few cleansing breaths in and out, knowing that all is well, and that you are so very blessed and so loved and cherished. You are respected, and you are an important part of the transformation happening on the planet. And I'm so honored that you're here with me. Thank you. And we're going to jump right into the karma clearing as I promised. So the first step in karma clearing is to imagine your partner, a partner who you were with, maybe an ex-husband or a difficult relationship. And we're going to do an energy exchange. You'll have this replay so you can go through the steps of anything that I've done. You're going to get this delivered to you within 12 hours of our broadcast. So understand it'll come to you soon. So imagine that there are two roses. There's one rose for you, and there's one rose for the ex-partner or whoever it is you're choosing. And you can do anybody. You can do somebody you work with or your parents or anybody. So it's a challenging relationship. And then I'd like you to imagine that this rose is for you and that rose is for them, and that they're magnet roses. And they're pulling all of your energy out of that person's body that you were in relationship with, and they're pulling all of it, his energy or her energy out of your body. So they're magnets, and these two roses are pulling the energy out. So we're doing an energy exchange, and you can feel that just really amplified. We're going to bring the quantum pleasure field amplified into this experience. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to hand their rose to them. Thank you so much. I give you your energy back. I no longer need it. And then you take your energy back. And just bless it. It's good. It went through the rose, so it doesn't have any of their energy on it. So the rose is the purifying factor in that, the magnet rose. The next step is the cords. And so we're going to remove cords. You could imagine just pulling the electric cords out of your body that cord you to another person, or a hose. You could imagine a hose. So we're unplugging cords. And cords were a mechanism that were very helpful for mothers and infants. So a mother would be very tuned into their infant would be corded to their mother. But sometimes cords get used in relationship, and you feel like you have an octopus on you. And everywhere you look, he's corded into you, or she's corded into you. And this can be somewhat problematic. So you're going to pull the cords out. It might be that you're the one sending out the cords. Understand that if you're somewhat possessive, you're probably the one who's sending the cords. And they just aren't that helpful. So let's pull them out. And I'm moving my hand also to help you guys be effective in getting them out quickly. So cords. Very excited, and we have about 7 minutes left. I always start and end on time, so you can trust that I'm going to give you exactly what I promised. So we're moving through this pretty quickly. And I'm bringing all my force here to get it done. You should have a real shift also from this relationship. It should really change for you. That's what I'm looking for as a result. All right, let's see here. How are we doing? Okay, we're almost there. Less than 10% of the cords are left. That was what we started with. Okay, cords are gone. We now remove contracts and agreements. And we have enough time, we're going to do it. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, contracts and agreements. Contracts are typically things that are in writing. So you've got contracts with houses, marriage contracts, all kinds of contracts, things that you signed. And agreements are things that you verbally agree to typically. Like, maybe when we're 80, let's go on a 50th anniversary to Jamaica, something like that. You make lots of those agreements, and they don't get canceled just because the love goes away. So let's end contracts and agreements. You could do the quantum pump. You could do this. We do rose bombs. It's one of the techniques I teach my students. But just this action of chopping will clear the contracts and agreements. So you could chop on this one. Choppity, choppity, chop. Oh, I'm very silly. So we're just clearing contracts and agreements, and then we're going to go right into karma. Let's see here, there's probably a question or two. You're welcome. Oh, lots of thank yous. Thank you. Awesome. And people are saying they're feeling the shifts. Thank you for for saying that. I really appreciate you mentioning that you feel the shifts. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Contracts, agreements. Okay, we're done with contracts. We just got a few more on the agreements. Hey, if you want to really study this more deeply, there's a karma clearing class, and there'll be one coming up again soon, but there's one that is on the website, very inexpensive, where you can buy a 2-hour training that was filmed like this, and then get the guided meditations for karma clearing, which is very, very helpful. So we're going through this kind of quickly, so I'm just mentioning that's on my website, julierenee.com. Karma clearing. There's a karma clearing class, and then there's a karma clearing, just the CD itself, or it's actually now an upload. We've shifted from physical product so that you can listen in your computer or your iPhone, or whatever kind of smartphone you have. Okay. All right, and then we need to jump to karma, and we'll end with this. And so how you see karma is, I see it as a ring, like a Lord of the Rings ring, maybe like this, big, 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 and it's half. So you've got half the ring, the top half, and then the bottom half isn't there. So the top half is there, and the bottom half is missing. And we're going to fill in the bottom half. So if you can imagine, you've completed half your karma with this person, and now we're going to fill in the rest of the karma ring. And then there's a white rose underneath it that we're going to drop it into, and then we're going to explode it, and it'll end the karma. And what's true is things dramatically change when you end karma. So let's fill it in. Let's fill in the golden ring, the magical ring of karma. And you can do this. I'm going to do this because it amplifies it faster. This crazy fast moving hand here. See if we can get this done, and I think we can. So we're filling in the karma ring, which means people say, well, do I have good karma? You're tied to someone because of whatever unresolved things you have between you. And what we do with this is we remove all the unresolved issues. So you no longer have unresolved issues that you have to come back lifetime after lifetime to resolve. So I don't know anyone who would really want to have unresolved issues lifetime after lifetime. And honestly, when you clear the karma with even the people you love that are in your life now, things get much easier because there isn't that tension of needing to fix something from a past life many lifetimes ago. You ever wonder why there's tension between you and someone, and it's like from the minute you meet them there's tension, and it's from unresolved karma. So by clearing the karma, you get to be yourself with them, and then they get to be themselves with you. We're about 70% clear. We have 1 minute left. I think we're going to go a minute over, folks, because I want to get this done for you. But we're going to do it. So if you want to hang around for a few minutes after the class, we'll be playing a few videos of some of the new coursework we have coming up. I'd love to hear from you. I am getting a chance to read some of what's streaming in the chat box, and I get to look at the chat box after the class too, so if you want to send me a message through the chat box, please do. And I'd love to hear what your transformations are. So as a week or two progresses and things change, please write me and let me know what you're experiencing. I would very, very much like to hear what's going on with you. And you can just respond to any email, and that will get to me. Any email that comes from our email box, I should say. We've got a few different ones. Yeah. Okay. And for those of you who might feel like you've had spiritual parasites in your space, we didn't talk about that at all, but that can be troublesome. We have a No More Ghost class coming up in 2 weeks, just like this one, on a Friday afternoon. Okay. Oh, yay, we got the yes on the karma clearing. All right, my dears, I love you. You are important to me. You make a difference in the world. You shine so radiantly, so beautifully. I believe in you. I believe in your capacity to heal and to grow and to expand into this amazing experience of love on the planet. It's why we came here. We came to love. We came to express ourselves. And it's time for you to step into that experience of more full self-expression in love. God bless. I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care and love yourself. Give yourself the love and the precious cherishing that you deserve. Until next time, namaste.